You opened your eyes, reached for your phone, and within the first 10 seconds, the entire world rushed into your mind. A headline, an unread email, a picture of someone vacationing somewhere far away. And just like that, before you even left the bed, your mind was already exhausted. I know that feeling very well, because I used to be there too. There were mornings when I opened my eyes and felt empty. Not sad, not angry, just an unexplainable kind of tiredness. And as the day went on, I realized something I had already lost that day, in the very first minutes of it. Have you ever felt like that? Everything in your life seems normal, but somehow you feel like your life is being pulled by something invisible. Not by your choice, but by 100 little forces around you. News work, kids, messages, responsibilities that never end. I've spent over 30 years working with adults, many of them in their 50s and 60s, and they all share one thing in common. They're no longer chasing success. They're chasing meaning. And what surprised me most is this: most of them didn't fail because they lacked goals. They failed because they started their mornings the wrong way. I remember one of my friends, his name is John. He's 58 now, a retired executive. One day he told me, "Howard, I used to think I lost because I got older, but really I lost because I let life run me every morning." From the day John changed the first 10 minutes after he woke up, everything changed. He stopped rushing. He stopped feeling that constant, meaningless pressure. And for the first time in years, he said he felt alive, not just existing. There's something I want to tell you. It may sound simple, but it's a truth that every truly successful person knows. They never let their mornings happen by accident. They design them. They know that the first 10 minutes after waking up are the control panel for the entire day. If you start in chaos, the whole day will carry that energy. If you start in calm, gratitude, and clarity, that's the tone your mind will play all day long. And here's the strange thing. You don't need to wake up at 4 a.m. You don't need to meditate for hours. You just need 10 minutes. 10 minutes to reset the direction of your life. I call it the 10-minute morning formula. It's something I've shared for years with thousands of people, from business leaders to teachers, from nurses to retirees. And I've seen miracles, not the kind in movies, but real human transformations. People who rediscovered peace, clarity, and joy, not because life got easier, but because they learned how to start it right. I remember a woman, she was 54, who told me, "I never thought 10 minutes could bring me so much peace. I still live in the same house, do the same job, but somehow everything feels lighter." I smiled because I understood. Her life didn't change. The way she entered her life changed. We live in a noisy world. People teach us how to get rich, how to stay young, how to win, but very few teach us how to begin a day in peace. And that's what I want to share with you today. I'm not here to talk about theories. I'm not here to tell you to wake up earlier than everyone else or to run 10 miles every morning. I just want to talk about 10 minutes. 10 minutes. That can give you back your calm, your focus, your strength. Now I want you to imagine this. Tomorrow morning you wake up, but you don't reach for your phone. You sit up, take a deep breath, listen to your heartbeat, and smile softly. You whisper to yourself, "I'm grateful to still be here today." You think of 3 things that make you happy. You visualize your day unfolding where you act with confidence, kindness, and calm. And finally, you decide, today I'll take one small step toward the person I want to become. That's it. Just 10 minutes. But those 10 minutes can transform the way you live the rest of your life. I'm not saying this as a theory. I'm saying this from experience. I used to be one of those busy people, so busy I forgot how to breathe. Every morning, I woke up feeling chased by my calendar, as if life was already one step ahead of me before I even got out of bed. And then one day, my body said enough. I burned out. I had to learn how to live again from scratch. And I began with 10 minutes. I never imagined that something so small could bring such a big change. I became calmer, more focused, more loving. Not because I had more time, but because I took ownership of the first minutes of my time. The 10 minutes I used to waste became the 10 minutes that saved me. And today, I want to pass that gift to you. There's no magic trick that can change your life overnight. But there is a truth. Your life can change direction the moment you change how you start your day. Those 10 minutes, they're not just the start of your morning. They're the start of your life story. So I want to invite you to stay with me for the next few minutes. Let me walk you through this 10-minute morning formula, a simple practice that can realign your mind, your energy, and your relationship with life itself. If you've ever felt tired, lost, or just wish you could slow down without losing your purpose, then this video is for you. Now take a deep breath, and let's begin these 10 minutes. 10 minutes that could help you not just start a new day, but start a new life. The 10-minute morning miracle. Now let's step into that magical 10 minutes together. I want you to imagine tomorrow morning, as sunlight softly brushes your window, you rise from bed, not reaching for your phone, but choosing instead to sit quietly with yourself. 1. The first 2 minutes. Silence to reset your mind. Let the world stay outside the door. Just 2 minutes, yet these 2 minutes are the switch that turns off the noise of life and turns on the voice within. I remember one morning in California when I was buried under emails and deadlines. An older friend said to me, "Howard, you can't hear your heart if you keep letting the world speak for it." I tried sitting still for just 2 minutes, breathing, observing, and I realized silence isn't empty. It's full of things we often miss: the wind, the breath, the heartbeat. Science even proves this. Just 2 minutes of silence after waking up can lower cortisol, the stress hormone, significantly. It's like pressing the reset button for your brain. You start not with tension, but with control. Try it tomorrow morning. Sit quietly, take a deep breath in, and slowly let it go. Do nothing. Just be fully present in that moment. 2. Gratitude, the strongest energy of adulthood. Once your mind is calm, spend 3 minutes thinking of what you're grateful for. Maybe it's your morning coffee. Maybe it's the person still asleep beside you. Maybe it's just the breath still inside your chest. You know, I've worked with many wealthy people, and I've seen some of them cry because they forgot how to be grateful for small things. They lived surrounded by comfort, yet never felt enough. I always tell my students, if you can't be grateful for the little things, you'll never be happy with the big ones. Gratitude is like morning sunlight. It doesn't change the scenery, but it makes everything look more beautiful. When you practice gratitude, your brain releases dopamine, the happiness chemical. So start your day with 3 things you're thankful for. Something as simple as, I'm grateful I can see the light today. I'm grateful I have someone to call home. I'm grateful I get another chance to live this day. You don't need to say them out loud, just feel them. And I promise, within a week, you'll feel lighter, calmer, and you'll smile for no reason at all. 3. Vision. See your day before it begins. After gratitude, close your eyes again and visualize your day, not as a to-do list, but as the person you want to be. See yourself walking into meetings with confidence, listening with an open heart, staying calm when challenges appear. See yourself coming home at night smiling because you lived as the version of you that you truly admire. The human brain can't tell the difference between imagination and reality. When you visualize, your mind starts training your behavior. That's why athletes, leaders, even surgeons use visualization to prepare their minds. As I often say, if you don't see your day first, your day will control you instead. Be the director, not the actor, lost in someone else's movie. Imagine your day the way a filmmaker sees the story before shooting begins. 4. 1 minute of learning. Breakfast for the mind. Now that your mind is calm and clear, spend 1 minute feeding your intellect. Read a quote, listen to a short podcast, or simply recall one thing you learned yesterday. Youth runs fast on strength, but maturity moves far on wisdom. And wisdom doesn't just appear, it must be fed daily. I always carry a small notebook. Each morning, I write down one line I love. For example, we cannot control the wind, but we can adjust our sails. Just 1 minute, yet that one line can change the way you see your entire day. Don't let your morning feed only your body with coffee. Feed your mind too. 5. 2 minutes of action, turning energy into power. I once told a group of entrepreneurs, without action, inspiration means nothing. After quieting your mind, feeling grateful, and setting your vision, it's time to move. It doesn't need to be huge. Make one small decision, call someone, write one sentence, tidy your desk, or stretch your body. When you act, you send your brain a signal, I'm in control. Just 2 minutes of action can pull you out of procrastination and into momentum. I remember Susan, a 62-year-old woman, telling me she struggled every morning. After hearing my talk, she began writing one line each day. What can I do today that makes me proud of myself? She said those 2 minutes changed everything. She felt more alive, more focused, because she acted, not just thought. 6. Don't let your phone decide your mood. Do you know what steals peace faster than anything? Not what you have to do, but what you see before you do it. If you check your phone within the first 5 minutes, you're letting dozens of voices enter your mind. Negative news, work emails, social media ads. They pull your focus away before you even start your day. So make one simple rule: no phone for the first 10 minutes. That's your sacred time, your mental sanctuary. I once guided a group of retirees to do this. At first, they laughed, saying, "What will I do without my phone?" A week later, they said, "I feel calmer. I start my day with me, not the world." See? Try it. You'll be amazed how much steadier and more positive your mood becomes. 7. Your morning is the mirror of your life. I always tell my students, the way you live your morning is the way you live your life. If your morning is chaotic, rushed, and emotionless, your life will likely be the same. But if your morning is calm, grateful, and intentional, that's a miniature version of the life you want. Every morning is a chance to rewrite your story. You don't need New Year's Day or special occasions. You can begin again every single day. Once a man told me, "Howard, I don't have many years left to start over." I smiled and said, "You don't need years. You just need one morning and repeat it." Each morning is a small lifetime. How you live it determines how you'll live the rest of your life. 8. Treat your first 10 minutes as the most important appointment of your day. Have you ever been late to meet someone? Probably. Yes, but let me ask you, how many times have you been late to meet yourself? Those first 10 minutes are a meeting between you today and the better you tomorrow. If you skip that meeting, you delay your own growth. I treat those minutes as my most intimate appointment, where I look inward and ask, how can I live today so I won't regret it tonight? It doesn't need to be perfect or fancy. Just be there. Be honest. Be present. This is the 10-minute morning formula I've lived by for years. There's no magic here, only the decision to change how you begin your day. And from that small decision, your whole life begins to change naturally. Every morning is a chance to start over. You don't need to wait for tomorrow or for things to be better. Start tomorrow morning. Just 10 minutes of stillness, gratitude, vision, learning, and action. And when the night comes, you'll notice something extraordinary. The world didn't change, but you did. And that's the real beginning of a new day. If you're listening to these words, maybe your heart is longing for a fresh start. Then don't wait. Tomorrow morning, when the first light touches your window, give yourself 10 minutes. 10 minutes to return, to begin, to truly live. And maybe, just maybe, you'll realize the rest of your life began on that very morning. You know, I've lived over 60 years on this earth. I've known mornings filled with the sound of car horns, ringing phones, and the hurried beat of a heart chasing unfinished work and new worries. But I've also known other mornings, quiet ones, where I simply sat still, listened to the wind through the window, and felt my heartbeat slow down. And now looking back, I realize something. Our entire lives are built from mornings like these. We don't change in a year or in a decade. We change in the small moments repeated every single day. And those 10 minutes in the morning that seem so small are actually the seed of every transformation. 10 minutes to reclaim your life. Have you ever felt like you're living a life written by someone else? Emails from your boss, social media notifications, negative news, all shaping your mood before you've even gotten out of bed. But there's a power you may have forgotten, the power to begin again. With just 10 minutes each morning, you can take back control. When you choose silence, the world must wait for you. When you practice gratitude, your soul becomes clear. When you visualize and act, you stop being dragged by life and start leading it. I've coached hundreds of people, entrepreneurs, teachers, retirees, even those lost and searching for meaning. And after applying the 10-minute morning routine, every single one of them told me the same thing. I didn't just change my day, I changed the way I face myself. A peaceful morning, a gentle life. Picture this. It's an autumn morning. You step out onto your porch, coffee in hand, and breathe in the cool, fresh air. No rush, no scrolling. No to-do lists. You just sit there grateful to be alive. And somehow, that whole day feels different. You handle problems with more ease. You speak to others with more kindness. You stop racing against time and start walking with it. I once asked an old friend, a 75-year-old man, what his secret to happiness was. He smiled and said, "Every morning, I allow myself to slow down. While the world runs, I stand still. And in that stillness, I see everything clearly." Sometimes happiness doesn't come from adding more, but from letting go. Letting go of the noise, letting go of the worry, letting go of the rush, and beginning your day with calm awareness. Science says your morning shapes your whole day. Did you know that neuroscientists at Stanford University discovered something fascinating? The first 10 minutes after waking are your brain's golden window when it's in the alpha state, half awake and half dreaming, the easiest time to program your emotions and mindset for the next 16 hours. That means if you start your day in stress, your brain will carry that feeling until night. But if you begin with gratitude and focus, your entire day will flow with that same energy. See, those 10 minutes aren't just a habit. They're the switch that controls your emotions for the whole day. And at this stage of life, what we need most isn't speed, it's depth. We don't need to live faster. We need to live more fully. You can't change the past, but you can begin again tomorrow. Maybe you've said to yourself, if only I'd started earlier. If only I hadn't let life carry me away. But you know what? It's never too late to start again. One of my students, Martha, was 58. She told me, "Howard, I've tried everything to feel at peace, but I still feel empty." I said, "Martha, just try the 10-minute morning. No pressure, no expectations, just try." 3 months later, she called me, her voice trembling. "I found myself again. I no longer wake up in fear. I wake up in gratitude." See? There was no miracle. She simply chose to start her day differently. And I want to say this to you watching right now. No matter your age, no matter how busy or tired you are, you can begin again. It only takes 10 minutes. 10 minutes, not just for today, but for the rest of your life. Tomorrow morning, when you look into the mirror, don't look to see how many wrinkles you have or how gray your hair's become. Look into your eyes and ask yourself, am I living as the person I want to become? That question asked every morning can change everything. 10 minutes isn't just a morning ritual. It's a training ground for the rest of your life. It's a sacred space to remind yourself, I still have a chance. I can still learn, love, and create. I still have the power to choose how I live. At 60, I've realized something profound. We don't really fear aging. We fear losing our awareness. And those 10 minutes each morning are how we keep that awareness alive. So I want you to make one promise to yourself, just one. Tomorrow morning, when you open your eyes, don't rush for your phone. Give yourself 10 minutes, 2 minutes of silence, 3 minutes of gratitude, 3 minutes of vision, 1 minute of learning, 2 minutes of action. That's it. Then watch what happens. Maybe the world outside won't change, but the eyes looking back at you in the mirror will. Calmer, brighter, more alive. You'll feel it after just a few days. And if you keep going, you'll realize each morning isn't just the start of a new day, it's a rebirth of yourself. If you're hearing this now, I want you to remember, you don't need a grand gesture to change your life. You just need the right beginning. Don't let the noise of the world steal the most sacred moment of your day. Don't let anyone else decide your mood before you've even said thank you for being alive. Each sunrise is a new chance to love, to learn, to live more deeply than yesterday. And it all begins in those first 10 minutes. So when you wake up tomorrow, don't hide beneath the blanket. Don't rush to check your messages. Sit up, breathe, smile, and begin again. Treat those 10 minutes as a sacred meeting between you and life itself. And if you honor that meeting, life will honor you in return. You can't change the whole world in 10 minutes, but you can change the way you face the world. And sometimes, that's enough to change everything. If you found meaning in this message, share it with someone you love. Because maybe, just maybe one morning, they'll find themselves again too. And remember this, always, every morning is a chance to begin again. Because when you master your morning, you master your life.